Well, I don't know if you, and as you all already see, the signal is acting a fool. Give me 1 second. Let me set this up. Oh, yeah, I am plugged in. So, yes, today is Reset Tuesdays. And you all know we talk about resetting our day, our year, resetting those dreams that we have not yet achieved. And since I am drop, I decided, let me just come on right now so that that way you guys, just in case I got wrapped up in work later, um, you guys will just get a little chance to get me early morning because early mornings are better today for me than later. I'm so overly overbooked. And I want to talk about resetting balance in your life. As I got back from my vacation, guys, I just want you guys to know that I've been all over the place. I felt like coming back. Yes, I got a chance to reset my YouTube channel. As you guys know, hello, Sister Nicole. Y'all know this YouTube channel, when you leave this for 2 seconds, it divorces you. Okay, so you got to start all over again. And, it's fun because you get a chance to really see what it is that you want to put your time in. And at this point in time, I decided I'm going to do these Tuesday, Thursdays, and that will work best for me because, guys, sometimes we come in here and it's like this resetting and finding balance within your life, not easy. It's hard, And I thought that I was going to come back and just bounce right back. Hello, Sister Virginia. What's going on, Sister Helena? Welcome in here. Hello, loves. Hope all is well with you guys. We're just talking today in regards to Reset Tuesday. And this week, I was working on balance. I was mentioning earlier when I got back from the islands, on that 2 months vacation, everything just was out of order. I just felt like, life been life in. We're trying to get everything back in the bucket. Kids starting school, you still got to be the wife, you still have to be that go-to family member that everybody gonna run to. You still got to be that helping hand for everyone that need it. You still got to be that listening ear, that shoulder to lean on. And then at the same time, you still got to try to recover yourself from being pulled here and there. And coming back for me, I'm still trying to find myself within all the normal routine that I should be used to, but I'm not. Okay. So the curveball that hit me these last few weeks was my kids started school, and I was like, okay, I got it. I'm getting up in the morning. The gig is gigging. Okay. The gig is gigging. However, though, there's been some changes in the gig economy, and like anything, we have to learn to be resilient. We have to adapt. We need to adjust our sail. And we have to be able to push through without giving up. And that's hard because sometimes you just want to give up. You don't want to push through. You don't want to consistently keep going at something and you're not seeing yourself or seeing your way through. And with me, I was thinking I was going to come back, I was going to snatch back, everything was going to go back to normal. I can get back in my workout routines, I can get back in my gig routine. And then school happens. So when school happens, as your kids getting older, you all know that I have a special needs son, and my son is, let me tell you, he takes care of himself at this point. He had followed the routines. He know what he's doing. He actually know what he wants, what he don't want. And I love him that space. However, though, he takes care of himself. Meaning he get up in the morning. I don't have to say, Jaden, you got to do this, you got to do that. He already know what he has to do. He already know what time his bus is coming. He already knows what time he has to get up. He knows when he get up, he got to go shower. He got to take care of his stuff. And actually, I do give my kids chores. So in the morning before he go to school, there's a chore. Okay, balance. Remember, in everything you got to find balance. Even with your kids, you got to give them a little task to do so that they can become responsible. So his task in the morning is all the clothes from the night before, all the towels that's been used in the morning, he has to get together and take them out, into the laundry room. Okay, that's his task. You may say, well, Paulette, why are you making him do all of that? Because one day Paulette's not going to be around. My son is a special needs. I want him to be self-sufficient. Even though he's a special needs, he's very self-sufficient. Okay, so he knows his task for the morning before he leaves the house. I don't have to repeat that to him. He do not like repetition. Now, on the other hand, here comes my daughter, right? So school starts for her. You already know what the routine should be. But her personality is totally different. I guess she likes when you repeat things 200 times to her. And she do not have an issue with you repeating it because she's still going to do what a teenager is going to do. They're going to hear you. They're going to tell you they're listening and they're going to do. And if you don't follow up and follow through with them, they may drop it by the wayside. You know what I mean? And then you got to come in there and put that mommy or daddy hand, on. You got to lay some structure down on them. Okay. Now, for her, she's having issues right now with schooling. Not that she's not number one in the whole school. She is a very smart child, but she has to learn balance as well. And I think that both of us struggle with the similarities, right? Because as mommy, and what we fail to understand as parents is the kids sometimes they're photocopying you. So if I don't get my balance right and she don't see me balancing out my life, then she'll feel comfortable with her unbalancedness. So for her, school is a priority, which is awesome. She's number one in her the whole school. She's always been that A student. However, though, I feel at this point, the balance that she needs to have is that not always you're going to take out A's. You may be a B student sometime. Sometimes you're gonna be a C student, and then you're gonna be a D student where you gotta get determined to pass that grade because your focus is off, right? So for her, it's like she's so focused on being an A student that she missed the mark of just understanding what it is that you're learning. You understand? Learning is something is very strange. Sometimes I can read something and I may not comprehend or understand it. And I say, oh yeah, and you would say, did you read that? And I say, yeah, I read that. You know, did you understand it? Well, what was he talking about? I may have to go back and reread it to understand what I was reading. But did I read it? Yes. So for her, she will do something, she will read it, she will understand it, but then in her mind, it's all about A's. Okay. So I want her to comprehend and understand what she's reading so she can learn and it can stick with her for longevity instead of just focusing on the notes. But right now, I'm having struggle with helping her understand the separation of the balance when it comes to your grades. Yes, you want to be a 4.0 student plus because she was a 4 points and change just in the seventh grade. Now she's in eighth grade and it's weighing on her. It's weighing on her so much that she has anxiety from it. And I'm talking these things because you may not have to deal with that. You may not have to worry about a child and their well-being or just thinking on, balance. Balance is nothing. Balance is something. That a lot of time we end up off balance, and that's when our anxiety kicks in, that's when our depression kicks in because we're so focused on one thing and we forget the surroundings around us. So my daughter right now is so focused on the grade that she is forgetting the importance of learning. For her it's a grade. For me as a parent that been there, done that, is like you need to learn to understand so that it can stick with you for longevity so you can have, you can make it through life. That when you go to a job, they're not going to say, how much was your GPA? Which some jobs may ask you that. If you're going into some scientific thing, they probably want to know your grade to see how smart you are, right? However, though, that's not what they're asking you. They'll be asking you, how are you going to be able to push through X, Y, and Z situations at a job if you become overloaded? They're going to be asking you questions like that. Can you handle the pressures of life, knowing that you have to work and be at a specific time, and then you have your family at home, and they're going to ask you really, really dumb question at the moment, like when you got to make a decision, if you have to go to your kids, and sometimes we going to need you at work, you got to make a decision. That 6 7 of you got to focus at work, or are you going to go home and tend to that kid that's not behaving or is going through a situation that you has has to go as a parent. And not everybody has the luxury of having two parents at the same time. And one can call in and say, okay, it's your turn to get off of work today because I have the other, the kid needs you. Some parents, some people don't have that luxury. So they're like the mommy, the daddy, the grandma, the uncle, the sister, the brother. They're like everything in one. And that can be overwhelming for many. Hello, Sister Elvira. How are you? Welcome into Life with Paulette. Hello, Picology, Mr. Picology. Okay, did I say it right? Welcome into Life with Paulette. We're just talking about balance today, and we're also talking about how we must get a grip of it because the moment that we lose that focus and lose that grip when it comes to our balance, that's when we spiral. Okay, so I'm working on gaining my balance so that way my daughter can figure out that balance is important and a grade is not everything. So going back to her situation, she has anxiety when it comes to a specific class, like anything like math. She's A in math. She's number one in her math class, but sometimes the new things for her is hard because she's not able to separate the sky can be blue today and tomorrow it can be a little cloudy. Today you can understand math and then tomorrow they throw you a curveball. You're like, wait a minute. So on that wait a minute for her, that is an anxiety attack. Okay, so I'm dealing with someone that 1 minute they're like, I got it. And the next minute it's like, I'm falling. And then as a parent trying to struggle with my own balance, I'm like, okay, I got to stop work, which is good because I get a chance work independently so I can turn off when my kids need me. I can not turn on for a whole week or a month or whatever because I'm not having obligations to nobody. Okay, so at the end of the day, for me, I'm in a position to do that, but not everybody is in a position to do that. However, I do have a lot of goals and dreams that I want to be able to achieve before I leave here. I mean, we're only on borrowed time. Pastor always talk about that. We're on borrowed time, and even on our borrowed time, if you don't have a dream, you better get one. Okay? Because that keeps you moving. The why in your dream keeps pushing you forward so that you can accomplish, everything that you deserve or what God has in place for you in your future, or in your kids' future. Because sometimes people leave legacies for their kids. They leave, trusts, they leave wills, they leave a little something so that kid can be able to sustain itself even as the parents is leaving. Like my son, he's already set up as a special need kid, has his executor to handle his finances so that way when I go to the other side, God forbid, or his father go to the other side, I'm not worrying about, I wonder if Jada eat, I wonder if he have any money, because proper prior planning prevents poor performance. So all of these actions that I'm talking to you about balance, it all ties in to starting your legacy now. Don't wait until you're ready to die to say, well, you know what? I think I'm gonna leave you that teapot over there. Or I think these two plates, they'll benefit you from right now. I think a few lives back I talked about making sure that you guys are giving your kids what you got to give them while you're living. We always be thinking, well, we got to wait till after we passed away. No, how about you all enjoy it together? Give them what you got to give them now. And especially if you have coming from a big family, you do not want to have your siblings fussing and fighting over two china plates. Okay, if you have two siblings, you got two plates and they're in your china closet or two little crystal glass, you give each one while you're living and say, little Betty, this one is yours. Little Johnny, this one is yours. Now you can't take it yet until mommy and daddy leaves. Then you could come in, you could claim it. However, though, most people don't do that because they feel they're gonna stay here forever. You're on borrowed time. You ain't stay here forever. So plan ahead of time. Learn to balance your life ahead of time. So that way you don't trip up because life is gonna be lifing. Guys, last week, nobody knew, but I was lifing. life was slapping me left and right. But I still came on and I smiled. I still spoke to you guys and encouraged you guys. You know why? Because I was encouraging myself. When we go through things and we're off balance, it don't mean that we fail. It just means that the timing is not right now. It don't mean it's not going to happen. It just means that it's not right now. Whatever you're aiming for in this particular time in your life is not going to happen right now. It's going to happen. And God forbid it's not 15 years like me for my first dream that I wanted, and I had to wait 15 years for it. But you know what? It came right on time because God knew what He was doing. He was in control. And when He gave it to you, I didn't even get one. I ended up getting three. So for the price of one, waiting, the wait was necessary. And you end up winning in the end. Now looking back, I was like, oh Lord, I see why you had me wait so long. Oh, I was frustrated, but I see now why you had me wait because I weren't ready yet. You see, when we are waiting and being miserable, we're not ready for what He has to give us, and He can see it, so He ain't gonna give it to you. So you're complaining and complaining. Why you ain't give it to me yet? Because you ain't ready yet. When am I gonna get it? When you're ready. And then when you get it, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I got it now because if I had gotten it 15 years ago, I would not have been able to handle it. So a lot of time, yesterday was so mind blowing for me that I was in the sauna at the gym and somebody came over to me, and I don't know if he's a Hebrew Israelite. I don't know if he is, atheist. I don't know if this individual is just a Moors. I'm not 100% sure. But out of everybody in the gym, it's only me and him in the sauna at this moment in time, brown. So he comes up and he's like, hey, I just have a question for you. I just had a great conversation. And he's talking to me like me and him is on the same level, right? And I'm looking at him with my eyes wide open. I'm like, mm-hmm. And he said, I just have a question. I was just telling him that black folks, he said, are here, told the Asian ladies, to the old Asian ladies, that you guys are here because of us. And I'm like, okay, that sound like a little Moors. It sound like a little Hebrew Israelite. And then you mixing it up on some atheist stuff. So what are you? So I sat there and I listened to him for 2 seconds, and I know it was going to be an ignorant conversation. And he said, "Can I ask you a question?" And I said, "Well, let's see what this question is going to be." Because in my head, listen, in 3 minutes, 3 seconds, sometime 3 minutes, depending on how good you are at delivering. I already made my conclusion, and if this is gonna be a dumb situation. But anyway, I give them that little 3 seconds, and he asked me. He said, "So, if God is God, do you believe in God?" He said, "I know you believe in God. I've seen you in the gym, and I know you believe in God." He said, "But I have a question with you. Why? What is it? Why is it that when you're good, when everything is good, you praise Him, and then when He turn around and like harm your family member, harm, He say, then people get mad?" And I said, "Well, they're dumb people. We serve a sovereign God." And I looked at him and I said, "Well, first of all," I said, "I'm not here to sit down and quote scriptures to you or tell you what your belief is, but you know what?" He said, "Count it all joy." And I tapped him on the shoulder and I said, "Count it all joy. To God be the glory." And I walked away. Why I walked away? Why am I going to stand there when you asking dumb questions? Like, why God make them do evil? He does evil. I'm like, my morning that I already prayed up, that I already sat and had my devotion, for you to come and ask me a dumb question? Well, if you don't know it by now, you grown individual, then you ain't gonna find out. You gotta go seek it for yourself and figure it out. He wants me to tell him why. Okay, you don't believe, first of all. So anything that I say is going to fall to the wayside. And that's a lot of time what happens with us as individuals. And I'm going off the topic, but it comes in with balance. I'm going to wrap it all in with balance because if you know thyself and you have your balance right, he was already tipping me off balance. And I knew myself, so I had to duck and get out of it. I had to figure out how I'm gonna maneuver myself out of a dumb situation, because that question, that one question that he asked there, that could have gone right or left. But I'm not gonna sit there and argue or try to make a point with you, because I already know that mentally you're not stable. You're gonna ask me a question about God? Yes, we question sometimes, like, God, why you made me so short? And, God, why my hair is drier than her hair or his hair? And, we ask little dumb questions here and there, like, and God, and why my eyes couldn't be green. Talking about that, when I was younger, I used to want my eyes to be hazel. My grandmother had hazel eyes. All my brother kids had hazel eyes. And I would be praying. And I would say, Lord, well, why I didn't get hazel eyes? Why I have dark brown eyes? And I wanted hazel eyes. And then back then, the contact lens came in, and I look at me trying to put in these hazel eyes. Dumb. How dumb are you? Be grateful how God made you. And now that I'm following the truth or striving in the truth, okay? Because following is a big word when we all have so much thesis in our worship. We're striving towards the following at this stage, okay? Because many of us, we say we're following the truth, and you're not doing 99% of what the truth supposed to do, okay? And I'm gonna talk for myself, okay? I still struggle with my sandals. Y'all know that, right? Okay, so we're striving over here, but at least I can tell you all and be honest with you and not be hypocrite. All right, we are definitely striving towards the truth and what right looks like, but we are not perfect. So who am I to look left and right and judge anybody when everybody got feasts in their worship? Nobody is perfect. Okay? So you can look at my little dry hair. Oh my God, my hair is out of control. I haven't combed it today. I just put in my little twist, and here I am, trying to look cute here and there. But I just wanted to share with you guys that that is part of balance. When you know thyself is also part of your balance, because you know your triggers. I know my triggers. And dumb questions will will just trigger me. I know, and I gotta respond to dumb questions sometimes, but I'm doing much better. Instead of me sitting there and telling him how dumb he was, I just said, you know what? I just want you to know, sir, you got to learn to count it all joy. I didn't send him to a pastor, a minister, because he seems like he was atheist, wrapped in a little bit of Moors and wrapped in a little bit of Hebrew Israelite, because he was talking about the color. You know, when we go to the other side, the worms is not going to be racist. Okay, the worms are not racist. They're gonna attack you. They're gonna come for you. You're not gonna be like, oh, my skin color is brown and your skin color is the other color, and we're gonna be all and you're not gonna attack me. You're gonna get attacked, and even as you're living, you're gonna get attacked. Dude, I was attacked in the movie theaters. In the movie theaters by a grown individual. My kids wanted to go watch Spider Man, so I said, okay, I'm gonna go and you know help my kids out and give them a Spider-Man. They did great through the week. So you treat your kids. You don't have to be Spider-Man. You can take them on the beach. Sometimes we go on the beach, sometimes we go hiking, sometimes we go to the water park. There's different ways you can go and you treat your kids. You buy them a little ice cream here. You could go and pull up at McDonald's. You could pull up at any location. It don't have to be no whole bunch of expensive things. So I treated my kids to the movies. So I'm in the movies. Yeah, y'all know I got this new phone, right? Birthday. I had a birthday. My birthday's in September for those that want to know. My Cash App is like, send me whatever you feel like. Make sure it's no coins. I don't want no coins. Okay, send the dollars. Okay, I'm just saying. Whatever though. I got my little new phone and I'm trying to figure out this new phone. So I set it up so when I get a text, most of the time I'm working. So I don't like hearing sound like ding ding dang dang. I prefer the little blinker. So they have this flash thing where the lights are flashing, right? So at the end of the day, I go into the movie theater. I'm all the way in the back. I'm not even. in the front where the person will be disturbed. I'm in the back, minding my own business. This man came in, a Caucasian man, by the way. And not that color matter, but it does in a little bit because I'm gonna wrap it up for you. So my phone, I guess I was receiving a text and it flashed one or two times that I noticed it. And I was like, oh my gosh, we were in the movies. But mind you, this individual, this little old man, out of the whole movie, 90% of the time he was going to the bathroom. So that means his bladder was weak, right? So he's going to the bathroom. How is he going to turn around on the way back with his son and say, all the movie, your phone was flashing, distracting. And girl, I know myself. I know myself. And it came out, I got hives just running through my body because I want to tell him, sir, your little weak bladder was running back and forth to the bathroom, so you had no time to see my phone flash the whole movie because you barely watched the movie. Okay? So he turned around and first when he said it to me, he didn't look back, so he didn't know that I'm a brown little fast girl. He didn't know that, but he didn't know that I was thriving in my holiness. So I'm not going to respond to him the way he think I'm going to respond to him. So he looked back and he was like, "This movie, you disturbed the whole movie." And he looked back, and I stood up because now you're disrespecting me and my kids. You're disrespecting your wife because I'm assuming that's your little sugar mama on the side of you with your two little kids that don't look nothing like you. However, though, you want to come at me because you didn't drink your pills and you forgot I didn't drink my pills either. So both of us were going to go wild and crazy, okay? So he ended up looking, he looked around and stood up, and I stood back up because I'm going to go for the jugglers. I'm going to tell him about, his weak bladder, and then I'm gonna call 911 in there because I can say what I want to say with my mouth, and you say what you want to say with your mouth. I'm not gonna fight you. I'm not gonna cuss you or anything. I don't do that. I just was gonna tell him that he had a weak bladder in front of the whole theater and embarrass him, which is bad. Come on. But I know myself, so I didn't want to do that. Okay, so I said, sir. I said, he said, turn it off. When he said, turn it off, he turned around, he looked around to me, and I said, I can't. I said, I don't know how to turn it off. I said, I'm sorry, but I'm not turning it off. So he sit back down. He was like, oh, okay. I guess I got another. You know how the stereotype us, right? He's like, oh, I'm not gonna mess with her. Why you run your mouth in the first place? And you didn't know who you were talking to in the theater, you know? And you're lucky that I was in my thriving situation because if I was thriving, we were probably going, yeah, back in the day, girl, don't come at me stupid now because I can defend myself. All right. So at the end of the day, guys, I just want y'all to know you count it all joy. I hold my peace. I did not allow him to disturb me. I said, I'm sorry. I told him, I said, I'm sorry, but I'm not changing it. And my daughter looked at me and she was like, well, mommy. And I continued doing what I was doing. However, though, I really put my hand in front of the flash just in case. Okay, just in case, it flashed. I didn't want to be mean or anything, but I was finishing checking my email because, first of all, guys, if you all have not seen Spider Man, I'm not a Spider Man. I'm a Superman girl. Okay. So Spider Man, that long old movie was boring to me. So I was doing my little job, on the side, answering my emails and doing all my stuff. And here I go, probably offended little Billy Bob. And he felt a certain way. And at the end of the day, it's okay. So when he left, he said nothing to me. I said nothing else to him. He was done because I said, I can't change it. I don't know how to do it, which was really the truth. I didn't know. But just to know how things find you, the devil know how to represent. Okay? The devil will show up on you in no time. And you got to learn to bob and weave because you get caught up in some situations. And then at the end of the day, quickly, I thought I got both of my kids here. I got one on the left and one on the right. Now my son is 17 and he's a big boy. My son is a big boy. So I guess when he looked around and saw my son next to me, he didn't know it was my son because my son is very loving. So he was hugging on my hands and laying on my shoulder. So when he looked around, I guess he's like, oh, okay, let me just hush, you know. But at the end of the day, he didn't know any better. But God knew just what he was doing because I was being trained at that moment in time. I was being trained to let me check and see how Paulette's doing in that area. the one she failed all the time. Let me check and see what she's doing in there. And you know what? I passed because I did not get out of my seat. No, I did not get out of my seat. I said, the devil is a lie. And I just said, I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, but I can't. And he snatched right back up. And I was waiting with my ammo, the ammunition, because I was going to hit the jugglers. I was going to be like, 90% of the time, sir, you were in the bathroom with your weak bladder. What are you talking about? I disturbed the whole movie. But he did not went there with me. And I was glad too, because I would have failed the mission. I didn't fail that mission. I stand firm in the mission. And you know what? I passed it. And you know what? At the end of the day, I went out and I had a great time. Nobody disturbed. My peace was not disturbed because he didn't get to me because I did not get out of my seat. Now, coming back to balance, if I was in my old self, which I'm still striving, I'm not perfect, I probably would have, been all out of my emotions, would have been gone out. I probably would have just made a fool of myself, and then go home and still be upset about it and all that stuff. Guys, we have no time to hold on to all that negative energy. Do you know that negative energy will kill you slowly? That's like a slow death. So most of the time, the devil be trying to get you with that slow death, and the one that you're gonna like explode on your own without nobody touching you. You just gonna just yourself because you're so stressed, you're so emotional involved in it, and then you blow all the gasket out, the smoke starts to coming out, and then at the end of the day, guys, let me tell you something. In the moment of you blowing up and using your energy, the other person is chilling. That's what I came to the grips of. I remember back in the day, oh my God, when I'm with my siblings and we fussing and we going, and I'm like, I ain't never talking to you again. Ah, oh my God. And my grandmother will always say, don't allow a temporary situation to ruin a relationship permanently. Me and you may not see eye to eye right now, because you probably said something, I probably said something, and we're not seeing eye to eye, but just be mindful of what you do and what comes out of your mouth because it's detrimental. It's detrimental, especially when you are throwing rocks and both of y'all are glass houses. And you know what rock does to glass? It crumbles. And sometimes we can't come back from that situation. Yes, in that moment, the devil had you feeling you had a point, and had the other one feeling they had a point, and everybody had a point and an opinion. And guess what? And then he removes himself, and you look dumb at the end. So in order for you to not go there, you got to know thyself and learn to stay in your seat. And remember, the confusion is only temporary. It's not permanent. The devil can't stick around with one individual permanently because he's attacking everybody. And you know how many of us it is? It's so much of us. But if we got to learn his moves, learn when he's coming to us, learn the little thing that comes into our ears and tell us, you know what? That person looked at you bad. Or that person said this. You need to get them back. All this get them back and let me fix some, and let me fix some. The only one to end up fixed is you. You can't fix nobody. And that's what I had to learn. And I have a control. I'm like a control person. Like I'm a fixer by nature. So if you tell me a problem, I'm gonna fix that. If you say, Paulette, my shoes, the sole of my shoes fell off. I'm not gonna sit there and say, oh, let me pray for you. I'll send you a pair of shoes. Because I'm naturally, that's who I am. If you tell me, Paulette, I don't have no food, I'm gonna send you food. Because that is my assignment. I can't fight it, and I've stopped fighting it anymore. Any problem you bring to me, I'm gonna fix it because that's who I am naturally. It's no extra hair, extra. That is who I am. I've been so all my life. I'm a fixer, and that's what God chose me for. That's my assignment. Okay, so if you don't want Paulette to fix something, don't tell me nothing. because I'll be looking to see how it fix it. And at the sometimes my fixing may not be to your comprehension or understanding because you're not saying, well, why would you say that? Or why you do that? But you don't understand that because I'm naturally at it, I already see like three different points, probably 10 different point views that if you go this right direction, that's what's going, okay, this way, okay, I don't see it that way. And then I suggest, you do this. That would be the one that I would want to say that's the one you should do. But then at the end of the day, everybody's gonna make their own decisions. I'm not here to make you no decision. I'm not here to judge nobody. I'm here to give you options. Okay? I'll give you options. The blue dress looked better than that purple one you had on yesterday. Okay? Don't put the purple one back on. You pack that thing back up and send it, return it back to the store. It did not look good on you. Okay? Don't ask me if you don't like the truth. Okay? Because I'm gonna tell you the truth. And that is something where everybody not able to handle. So a lot of time you're sharing or you're just venting. You got to let the person on the other hand, you got to know them as well to know, okay, this person's good. It's a good listener. This person is going to give me opinion. This person is going to just sit there and then I'm going to ask them, can you give me your suggestion? And they'll probably suggest you something. And 90% of the time, it could be good, but not everybody's perfect, Not everybody's perfect. However, though, I just want everybody to know thyself and do not get weary in well doing when it comes to your balance. Because a lot of time we be like, we're perfect. And then we fall to the wayside on the other side. Not so much perfect, but you're like, we got it now. And then you don't have it. And then you go through your trials and tribulations. And then you're like, oh man, I thought I had it, but I don't now. Because you fell to the wayside. So in order for you not to fall to the wayside, anything, make sure that you're proper prior planning and it prevents pure poor performance. Okay? Proper prior planning prevents poor performance. Don't wait until your last 2 seconds in order to say I'm sorry. Don't wait until your last 2 seconds in order to say, forgive me. I was wrong. Can we start over? And sometimes, guys, when we have to go through those five little sentences, some relationship is unfixable. But it's so good and so beautiful to know that you had a moment with an individual and that's your heart. That is your heart. And they either take it or leave it. But you don't stay there waiting around. You say what you have to say. Most of the time I go on to the bus. If I go to the bus, this example, and I say good morning, I'm not looking to see if you say good morning back. I did my part. That's all I can do is my part. So if you're looking for them to say good morning back and that's going to ruin your day because they did not say good morning back, then you need to balance yourself when it comes to your attitude, your behaviors, when it comes to your emotions, because you're off balance. Nobody should not hurt your feelings because they didn't say good morning back to you in the way that you wanted them to say good morning back to you. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that's just an example of how balance is so important when it comes to us as individuals and growth and growth. And I'm still working on it. I'm not perfect. I'm still working on balancing gig, being a wife, being a mother, being a sister, being a friend, a real friend. It's not easy. Okay. And that's F, and I'm going to the F. It's not easy being that friend that everybody can depend on or being dependable in general. It's not easy. But you know what? It's so worth it. Be honest, be authentic, be you. And that way you're not worried if this one thinks and what the other one thinks. Be you. And I have a few sisters that's just very authentic like that. They're like, you know what? Your hair is a mess. And you need to get it together. They're straight. And it may be like, oh my God, she hurt my feelings. No, she was honest. She told you the truth because she loves you. Okay? And I know my hair's a mess, so don't come in telling me my hair's a mess because I know my hair's a mess. Okay? I'm about to get it done, though. About to get it done. Give me 1 second, guys. Don't go nowhere. Oh my God, this is a great little topic. Oh, hi, everybody. Oh my gosh, I have so much thing to read up in here. I'm just going to drop off this product real quick. I'm back. Can you hear me? I'm going to start up this car. So, just in case, guys, y'all know how this works. Y'all, can you guys hear me now? Please let me know. Let me go through these comments before I pull out of this little nice little neighborhood. I'm in a nice little neighborhood, by the way. Let me know if you can hear me. Oh, there's something else. Can you hear me? Give me thumbs up if you can hear me. Can you hear me now? Okay. Let me see. Sister Elvira, a greeting, peace and blessing. Okay, Mrs. CNT said, Amen. And in most cases, when God bless you and you finally get it and wish you can put it back because you didn't know the responsibility and abbreviations and the responsibility behind it. Yes, that's how it is sometimes, Sister Slim Jim. Sister Regina says Slim Jim. Yes, you love me some Slim Jims. That's good foods for you to go on. Um, it's a quick little snack. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I think a Slim Jim is the little beef jerky or something. I think it's a beef jerky. I miss you too. Oh, okay. You're talking to somebody. Okay, Paulette, you low key funny. Virginia, I mean, listen, you got all you could do is laugh at things. You get to the point where all you could do is laugh at things and you can't take things personal anymore. You can't take things personal no more. We just gotta sit there and laugh and just enjoy life because it's funny. It's very funny at times. Let me see. Sister Virus says today, no, he didn't. Yes, he did, girl. He came for the jugglers. He came for the jugglers, and I had to stay in my seat. Otherwise, I would have had to tell him about his weak bladder. But I didn't want to go there with him. Virginia said, us black folk love, love talking with our hands. I know. Listen, the conversation ain't good unless we using these fingers. Okay, you got to make sure that we get it in there so they can pay attention. Just it's just like a attention grabber. All right, it's nice. Sorry, EFP. Everybody is chit chatting. Everybody's chit chatting. Helena say that's true, but imagine you around weed smoke when you don't smoke and you already have mental issue. Yes, sis. And talking about weed smoke, when you're in a gig economy, sometimes you're going to get those onesie, twosie individual that come into your car and just be smoking. They're all high. You can smell it on them. So most of the time, I just tell them put the window down, and I pray that they don't come in my car because the scent of weed is no joke. But yeah, I understand just what you're saying. Sometimes you're around that. Mainly on my rides is the one where um mainly on my rides is where I get encounters with all of that because people is going to be people, and that's the only disadvantage when it comes to the gig economy, in where you're going to have that experience with people. I had somebody that had me ask me if I could pull over so that they could get a little puff outside. I said, as long as you stay outside and get it air off, and I said, you're gonna be clocked, meaning the timing. They're like, oh, no worries, no problem, I got it. Things like that. But that's how it is. Sister Elvira say, getting these steps in on a little break. All righty, sis. Get those steps in. Get those steps in. I did my 5,000. I did 5,800 and change yesterday. I posted it. I did the post because I've been telling you I'm going to do the post. And then you know why I didn't do the post? I'll be honest with you. You know why I didn't do the post? Because the whole time I was telling y'all I was going to post it, I never made my 5,000 steps. I was like, oh. This is so disrespectful, Paulette. You can't keep saying you're gonna do something, and it was because I did not do 5,000 steps, and that was the goal to do 5,000 steps. I said, you know what? I'm not stressing about it. I'm just going to do it whenever I hit my 5,000 step and be honest with it. Then I'm going to post it. And that was yesterday, guys. So yesterday is day one. Today, I'm thriving for 5,000 again. I'm going to do 5,000 step 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, and Saturday and Sunday is my chill day. I'm trying to recover, but I'm planning on doing that so that that way I can keep up with you guys. So go there and let me know the date and the time because the rest of this month we can do it 5,000 steps and it's just to keep you all accountable. Okay. I see Redeem, I think her name is Cheyenne. I think Cheyenne, she already posted her she said she did 6,000 yesterday. I did 5,800. I was trying to beat Cheyenne, but girl, my body was like, no, you're not. Those extra 200s, you're going to just wait and do them another day, but not today. So that's what happened with me in my 2,000 steps. I was not able to do it. Okay, your hair is fine, sister. Right? So your hair is fine. Girl, I mean, it feels good, but it needs to get it together, sister. I need to get it together. I'm gonna put back in my little two-strand twist, and we should be all right. We should be all right. Sister Nicole said, the more I succeed, the more humble and thankful to the Lord that I become, and I still I don't know to receive more wisdom to the wisdom I already have. Yes, ma'am. See there? I'm driving, so I apologize as I'm barely, I can't get the little readings together the way that I want to. Because I'm trying to get much money, but I'm still chatting with you guys because I want to get through all of this. Let me see. Sister Dawn says, I'll catch up on the upload. Okay, Sister Dawn, welcome in and thank you for coming by, Sister Dawn. I appreciate you. Helena say yes. Virginia say LOL. Okay, peace to you all. Charge my phone. Okay, thank you for coming in. Sister Helena, I appreciate each and every one of you guys for coming in. I need to wrap this up. Hello, Redeem. How about you, I think it was Cheyenne you mentioned, right? Cheyenne, yes, yes, Sister Cheyenne. Welcome in. You did your 6,000 yesterday. I did 5,800. I could not do 200 more. Girlfriend, I was done. Okay, but today we're going to aim for 5,000 and above. So you guys can go on the post, right under the post, the same post. We ain't changing no post. Okay, so find the post and we're working on 5 days a week, 5,000 steps. We can do it. Okay, 5 days a week, 5,000 steps. We can do it. I know we can do it. I know y'all can do it. All right? Because if I can do it, you can do it too. All righty. Let's see. Greetings, Sister Paulette. Everyone, welcome. This is Cheyenne. Welcome, Sister Cheyenne. Shout out to Sister E for stepping up today. Yes, we're doing one day at a time. That's what we're doing. All we can do is one day at a time. I know Sister Elvira is getting her steps in. She's hitting her 6,005. Y'all doing big numbers, making me look bad. I'm like, oh my God, I need to catch up, And then we have Sister Cheyenne. She's also on the stepping thing. If y'all want to get these 5,000 steps in so we all can stay accountable, just go ahead and post. Today is so and so. I did this step so that way we can be accountable. And whenever I don't see you, I'm gonna call you out. And the same thing with me. If you don't see me post on a daily basis for my 5 days a week, like I said I was gonna do for the month of August, y'all call me out too. Why? We gotta stay accountable to each other, okay? Regine say, thank you, Tear. I'm still swimming. I'm still, hold on. I'm still swinging at the enemy in in me. Whew. Yes, yes, yes. We are all swinging at the enemy. I mean, you could be minding your own business and it's like, hello. The devil is like, hello, it's me. You're like, go away. Leave me alone. I've been in peace for so long. And all of a sudden you just come disrupting. But remember, anytime the devil attacks you, it's temporary. It's temporary because he have other people he got to go and bother. All right. So don't be thinking it's temporary. It's permanent. It's not permanent. It's just temporary. But anyway, let's talk. We talked about balance today on Reset Tuesday, and hopefully you guys can find a little bit of balance in your life. I'm working on helping my daughter balance her situation when it comes to school, and I'm working on my balance as well when it comes to juggling family. Okay, I think I dropped the maybe because my husband spoiled me too much when it comes to family because he's always there at the house since he retired now, and I get to get out. So I just feel like, oh my gosh, you're interfering with my day. I got to come home, and I'm the nurturer. So when my daughter goes through those emotions, I'm the one to go and talk her through. Hello, Brother Don. Welcome in. God bless you for stopping by Life with Paulette. Today we talked about balance. So at the end of the day, guys, when I was mentioning to you guys, I'm the one to talk her through. And my husband, as a man, he tries, but he's a little military. So it comes across a little bit too mannish, too man. So I need to go there and do mommy conversations and and try to calm her down to the best of her ability, and it works. So today she she is having her classes, and one of her class she wants me to be there, so I that's why I came out early and I went on live early because I want to make sure that I'm home. I got to balance, so I got to turn off and not get so attached to work, because even though I can make money later after school, I just had a routine, and maybe I'm a little special myself because now that I got to switch it up, is pray for me. It's not easy. It's not easy when you're used to one thing, and I think they call that a little bit of officeism. Not trying to game anything, but I'm just saying, it's I got to get used to it. Okay. I got to get used to it. I don't like change, but it's necessary. Okay. So I got to switch up my game plan. Sometimes you're going to see me on earlier than others. Sometimes I may be on a little bit later. So it all depending on my routine, depending on what the family needs. And that way I can attend. So pray for me, guys, as I pray for you. I'm still working out the thesis in my worship. You already know where my thesis is at. And I was listening, one of my sisters sent something to me that I was listening to about, sometimes we repent for something. And in reality, we're repenting and repeating. So if you're repenting and repeating, then maybe you need to clean out with extra toilet paper your feces because you're not learning from it. So that's all we got to say. So let's all pray for each other. You pray for me, and I'll pray for you. And when a brother and a sister is down, let's not, let's not rejoice over their downfall. We must pray for them, continuously pray for them. We pray for each other. And, this holiness walk is no joke. One day you're going to be up, one day you're going to be on top of everything, and the next minute you're going to fall short. And sometimes it's painful when we fall short and everybody else is stomping on your liver. Okay, everybody's stomping on your liver when you're down. When all you need is a little helping hand and somebody to dust off a little dust off for you and tell you can do it. You got a lot of hate, especially in these holiness streets. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all be hating and unfollowing and unsubscribing because, oh my God, Sister Paulette didn't put her head tie on. Oh my goodness, Sister Paulette said what? And I'm gonna unfollow and unsubscribe. You know what? If you're going to get to the point of being wishy-washy where you're going to unfollow and unsubscribe because somebody didn't do it right, we all got shortcomings. It only a matter of time before yours is going to come. So at the end of the day, y'all be very kind to the ones that fell by the wayside, and let's pray for them. Don't have nothing negative to say about them. Don't have a whole lot of hoopty, you know what I mean? Because only a matter of time your turn is going to come. The good thing about life is that we live in a circle, and what goes around is going to come around, and your day is going to come because you're going to fall short because the devil is busy right now. Okay? So we may not know because many of y'all be hypocriting. Many of us, you doing things that we don't know. And you just come to Life of Paulette because she gonna tell you what she's working on her thesis, okay? But at least I'm honest. I'm very honest with what I'm doing and what I'm going through. And it's not an easy pill. It's not easy. It's not easy here in this on these holiness streets. And it's not even It's harder knowing that somebody that you consider a brother or a sister is willing to go behind your back, even though pastors say, don't be hypocriting and talking behind no brother and sister back. You go to their face. Y'all be doing it. Y'all be doing it. Stop it. You stop it. If you can't tell it to their face, then shut your face. Okay? You sit down, you pull them to the side respectfully. We're all human beings. God love all of us. And some of us may not be doing the right thing, but you know what? You know what came to mind the other day? That 70 times 70. When he said, how often do you got to forgive? 70 times. Right? And then you be like, what do he mean? He got to forgive all that time. Well, guess what he do with us every day? Forgive us. We're still here. He didn't strike us down, knowing that we deserved it. So be very kind to people that fall by the wayside. Pray for them, encourage them to get back up and dust themselves off. Sometimes you may have to extend a band-aid, extend a little bit of alcohol because it's going to sting. The truth is going to sting. So when they fall by the wayside, there's nothing wrong with throwing a little alcohol on it because you got to make sure that they understand that womb needs to heal and you got to go in there and sting it a little bit. But you can hand a band-aid out. Just hand a band-aid out. Don't go there trying to stomp on them and get mad at everybody else because you want them not to talk to this one and not to talk to that. And stop the pettiness and holiness. That's all I got to say. Let me get off of here, guys. This has been an whole hour, and I'm losing money chatting with you guys, talking about all these holiness street and this policing. Stop the policing. You start the policing. Don't let the word do the policing. That's all I got to say. I love each and every one of you guys. I love you all from mi corazón, okay? From my heart, okay? Annyeonghaseyo, okay? Meaning hello. And annyeong means goodbye. So I'm going to say annyeong, goodbye to you. And I'll see you all on the next one. Tuesday is Reset Tuesday and Thursday. We're going to talk about a little bit of health. I'm going back into my nutritionist. Let's see how much weight I lost since I came back, which I don't feel like I lost anything. But, I don't know if I could ever outplay the 16 pounds. Okay. That's 16 pounds, a lot of weight that I lost. And I didn't even know I lost it. So now I'm into the 40s, negative 40s. I would like to lose a little bit more pounds again, without all the jiggle, tighten up a little bit. That's why I'm doing all my weightlifting. So I'll talk about that on Thursday. And yes, I want to go ahead and do a video, some cooking videos to show you guys what it is that I eat. And, oh, you guys can probably get on a program. I know I shared it with you verbally, but I want to be able to get on more hands on. Oh, this gig economy is gigging because I don't get a time to go home and sit down. So probably we'll figure something else out. Um, Say, oh, we come on, sis. We come on. Okay, okay. Sister TNT say, oh yes, most definitely. There's a lot of haters. Even when you're not doing nothing, you just being yourself. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. Yes, thank you for that, Sister Nicole. Yeah, you could just be yourself and you're gonna find people who want you to be straightforward. Like if I know, the Queen. Queen Elizabeth, I guess. They want you to be sitting up proper, speak properly, say this, say that. When we already indoctrinated with the world, we gotta undoctrinate ourselves. It's gonna take some time. So have patience, have patience. Um, Sister Nicole says definitely not easy, and when you're married, it's double trouble because the devil works harder with marriage than single. Girl, I don't know. I can't tell you that one because I know single people that's been going through it. Okay, the mud. All right, and the devil is after them. When you're married, yes, it's double. But imagine you married and only you are in holiness. You see how the devil could work through. you know the devil be attacking and he knows what he's trying to do, but at the same time it's good when both can respect each other. But it's I don't know if single or marriage have it any easier. I think the attack is both because the devil will just want to take you out. He don't want you on this side. He wants you out. He wants the relationship ruined. My neighbor yesterday came and mentioned, that they're getting a divorce, three beautiful kids, and all of a sudden they just can't stand each other no more. 17, 18 years of marriage and they're done. They can't stand each other no more because he is into one religion and she feels like that religion destroyed her, and she compares to that religion that he's in, like the Ku Klux. Y'all know what I'm talking about? That's what that's what they're doing. So they're not seeing eye to eye, and it's sad. I cried. I cried yesterday. Marriage is supposed to be for life. So you all better figure it out. If you're single, figure it out. If you're married, figure it out. Because if you're single, you still got a chance. You can stay single. You don't got to deal with all the mess. Okay? Because yes, marriage is beautiful, but there's some shortcomings. You each other. You're learning different personality. You're learning that you may not see eye to eye in certain things, and you're gonna hold your ground, and they're gonna hold their grounds. So if you're single and you're thinking about marriage, make sure that you really, really, really know what you're thinking about. And if you're married already, it's for life. So figure it out. I'm not saying that if you're in an abusive relationship or if you're in a whatever and you can't tolerate it anymore, then you may need to speak to a minister. But I just want y'all to know that it's no marriage and divorce and married again and no remarried and all that stuff. I don't believe in none of that. I never did believe in it. So finding the truth, that was not nothing new to me. Okay. I knew what I wanted to believe in and what I didn't believe in. That was one where you marry for life. So you married him when he smiled, you were like, oh my God, he got beautiful teeth. And as soon as he said, I do, he'd take out his false teeth and he don't have no front teeth. That's who you stuck with for the rest of your life. And the same goes to us girls with our wigs. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Oh my gosh, I'm talking too much. I just want y'all to know. He met you with that long Brazilian looking hair, that little Puerto Rican, wig that I had on. And all of a sudden, when that dude came along, girl, you got to pull that thing off. And he's like, what did I get myself into? Y'all know what I'm talking about? Y'all taking off all your eyelashes and taking off all the extra stuff. Sometimes just our nighttime routine is all night. You got to take off all the makeup, take off all the other things. So your camouflage when you meet out there, especially if you're single, don't. Sister Awara would say, don't fall for the what do you call them now? The Trons. What was Sister Right? If you're here, you would call it now Decepticons. That's what she talked about. Don't be falling for the Decepticons now, when he coming up there and he's telling you he got all this money and he this and that, and then you get a little closer, okay, to find out he was in negative from before he even talked to you. Here you are believing that you onto something. No, you're not. Because we single ladies, y'all need to ask the questions. Oh, what color is your bank account? Is it red or is it black? The beginning of your paycheck. How long before you're in zero? Like y'all better be asking the right questions because you got some people that will spend in 3 days their check is gone, and one day their check is gone because they're doing a whole lot of stuff. Okay, so I'm just saying, don't fall for that okey doke. Okay, the Decepticons is out there. And then you marry them, right? And then you start the layers of onion starts to fall off because now you're not only stuck on I thought he was honest. I thought he was cute. He was so cute. Yeah, the devil looked very cute. What Pastor would say, the devil have a sound, okay? That sexy voice that got to you, that nice little beautiful body, those muscles that got you head over heels. And then you don't know what you're getting yourself into. When you know you got the dog, the cat, great grandmother, grandfather, you got uncle, auntie, everybody in one two-bedroom house, and that's what he want to put you in because he just don't have it. He just don't have any more to offer you because you never ask the right questions. It's finances when you're dating somebody or you're courting. Say date, we say courting, but when you're courting somebody, you know And to let you all know, it's nothing wrong with asking the questions. You should not answer that question when a girl asks you and you're in holiness and you're courting and she say, okay, let's talk about the finances. Where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 days, 10 years? Where do you see yourself in 10 days from now? Let's see how they're gonna answer you. Y'all don't need no little weirdo. Y'all need straight questions because you know what you're trying to get at. Okay? You want to be when you are going under pressure in your marriage financially that y'all gonna survive it out, and you know you're gonna survive it out because based upon his response. Or you saw him under pressure and he do his response. And it goes vice versa too. Married a woman and all of a sudden it's like, I love you and making you breakfast every day and making dinner and lunch, and all of a sudden you're married and she's like, go make it yourself. Just like how the guys switch up, we switch up too. You can't just throw it on them and say, oh, he's no this. No, girls do it too. We got it too. So we got to, oh my gosh, it's already an hour. You know what? We're going to pick up on this another day. I got to go. Okay. I got to go. I know it's a great conversation to have, and we need to have more of these conversations where we can be authentic and not feel like you're in holiness and everything is perfect and all the marriage is perfect and all. No, you're not. So stop lying. You're not going to see eye to eye. Probably 80%, maybe 90%. Some of y'all, 99%, you don't see eye to eye, especially on your holiness walk, because you see in one way and she see in one way. Many of you all are married in with family, out of family, and you're blending families together. And all of that is another ball game that y'all don't talk about. But you need to talk about it. You need to talk about it. Right? Love y'all. Deuces. I'm bidding good eve to you guys. If you're just coming in, go start from the beginning. And if you're just coming into Life of Paula, I just want you all to know is that go subscribe. If you have not subscribed to this channel, shame on you. Okay? Because we talk a little bit about everything. All right? We ain't holding no punches. We're gonna go through this holiness walk not as hypocrites. Okay, we're gonna be honest. We're gonna be honest. You come on this channel, you're gonna get it. Okay, and I'm not perfect, and I throw myself under the bus. Isn't that great? Anyway, I'm bidding good eve to you guys. Deuces.